how do they look in the offseason, many of which have not competed since the Mr. Olympia. And so this is their fattest, sloppiest offseason shape. Coach Greg, and in today's video, we're going over guest posing by top 5 Mr. Olympia competitors at the Pittsburgh Pro. Mr. Olympia, Derek Lunsford, also Nick Walker, Brandon Curry, and Hunter Labrada, they put on a show. And we're going to see how do they look in the offseason, many of which have not competed since the Mr. Olympia. And so this is their fattest, sloppiest offseason shape. Oftentimes people say, Coach Greg, you don't know what you're talking about. Pro bodybuilders, they force feed all the time, eating 5, 6, 10,000 calories a day. And so I'm watching Nick Strength and Power, who compiled some of these photos of the guest posers. And if you want to check out his opinion on how they look, please go tune in to Nick Strength and Power. And so all 4 amazing guest posers are standing on the stage at the same time. And what I immediately notice is, how on earth is Derek Lunsford this big? And yeah, I get it, he's short. He's maybe 5'5" tall. But look at the size of him. How in the world does he make the 212-pound division? This is the reigning 212 Mr. Olympia champion, and look at his physique. Is it any wonder why he is the current reigning champion? And based on what I see now, I believe he could hold on to the title for as many years as he wants, perhaps 10 years plus. This is unbelievable. Reminds me of how dominant Chris Bumstead is in men's classic physique. The only question is, how can he make the 212 division? Look at how lean he is. Arguably the leanest of the 4 guest posers on stage, clearly single-digit body fat. And considering he's close to 250 pounds, you have to wonder, where is he going to drop this weight from? And so there's been a lot of talk of him going to Men's Open. And yes, I do believe he would do exceptionally well in Men's Open, but I still don't think he could beat the other 3 competitors if they were all at their best. And in this quarter turn, look at the size of Derek's legs. And what Derek lacks for in size, he more than makes up for his shape. In a front double bicep, back double bicep, this guy looks absolutely unreal. Such a small, tiny waist, reminiscent of classic physique, but with all the mass of Men's Open bodybuilding. And up next, Nick the Mutant Walker. Look at the amount of muscle that this man carries on his 5'7" frame. And you're thinking he's bulked up in the off season, that he's pounding back the food, force feeding, getting sloppy? Are you kidding me? Look at the abdominals. Look at the condition in the chest, arms, legs, everything. Frankly, I am amazed that these guys can carry this much muscle while being this lean. It is absolutely mind-blowing. And Hunter, looking exceptionally shredded, single-digit body fat. Look at the shape of this guy. He has that much muscle with that kind of shape and this condition in the off-season. Are you kidding me? And Brandon Curry, last but not least, showing you why he's an Arnold Classic champion and former Mr. Olympia competitor. And so let this be a lesson to all the people out there thinking that bodybuilders need to get sloppy in the off-season. Look at these guys. Look at the quality, the conditioning of these high-performance athletes. Not a single one of them does not sport abdominals, and as you can see, their muscles are clearly separated. And so for all the haters saying bodybuilders, they all bulk up, they're not bulked up. What happens is, after they finish a competition where they're perhaps 4% body fat, they then have to eat in a calorie surplus to allow themselves to go up to normal. Normal body fat. For these guys, somewhere around single digit to 12% body fat. And yes, I get it, not everyone can maintain while being this lean. And I do believe they're probably not natural. However, they are clearly not force feeding and getting fat. None of these guys have even close to 20% body fat, let alone 15. And so when I keep preaching to people to maintain, what I'm telling people is to get their body fat levels to a healthy zone for them. For most people, that is somewhere between 10 and 20%. However, I do suggest 15% for most people. And so if your body fat percent, it's already above 20%, you have no visible abs whatsoever, you're skinny fat. Why are you trying to bulk up and eat in a calorie surplus, causing you to gain even more fat? If you're already over 20% fat, you don't need to force in more food in order to grow muscle. And really think of it, who do you think a calorie surplus benefits more? A newbie in the gym who's skinny fat, who's never trained before, who practically can grow just by looking at the weights? Or an advanced IFBB pro bodybuilder who's been training for 10 or 20 years? Who do you think needs a calorie surplus more to grow more muscle? The easiest time to build muscle is if you've never trained before, or if you're coming back after a layoff due to muscle memory, or perhaps you were injured, you took time out of the gym and you're training once again, and of course, if you add in PDs. And so the next time you use an IFBB Pro as an example of why you need to bulk up to build muscle, realize that the reason these guys are bulking up technically is because they're too lean when they are in stage ready condition. And so ask yourself, were you in stage ready condition? Were you too lean? Did you look like Jeff Cavalier, Tristan Lee, or anyone with single digit body fat? If so, you probably could benefit from bulking up. However, if you're already fat, you're overweight, you have no visible abs whatsoever, do you really think you now need to add in extra calories in order to build muscle? And this is of my own personal opinion. You can agree, disagree with me. I would prefer to see Derek Lunsford stay in the 212 division and dominate. Have you seen any deaths in bodybuilding as of late? If Derek tries to go to open, of which of course he could, and probably could place in the top 5, would that be a healthier choice than staying in the 212 class? If he goes to open and tries to win the Olympia, he's going to have to add even more muscle. To add more muscle, probably going to have to add higher doses of PDs. In comparison, if he stays in the 212 class, he doesn't need to add any more muscle at all. Perhaps he could take HRT doses and win the Mr. Olympia. I don't know, not sure, but I'm pretty sure that you need to take less PDs to stay smaller than if you're trying to get bigger. And so I hope you liked the video. Let me know in the comments section, were these guys not in way better condition than you imagine? Were they not shockingly lean compared to what you'd expect? And no, I don't want you to copy them. I don't want you to think that you should be this lean in the off season. I'm not trying to tell anyone that this is how you should look, that this is the kind of body fat levels that's normal. These guys are extremely lean. However, they are high level, high performance athletes. But do realize if you have no visible abs whatsoever, you're over 20% body fat, that adding in more calories is not going to be beneficial for building muscle, and it's not going to be healthy. Stay safe, everyone. Ending it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette, IFBB Pro. Please check out the bloops. Also, harder than last time supplements, including turkesterone, protein powder, pre-workout, creatine, beta-alanine. Everything is coming. Click the freaking link in the description. Subscribe. Click that bell button. Comment for the algorithm. And until next time, I am out.